What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs? So today we're talking about another reason that Jak 2 on PS4 and the rest of the games could be taking longer than expected to get released. And while I tell you this, it's not like it's confirmed or anything, it's just like a theory I had thinking about it. As you know, Limited Run Games is interested in re-releasing PS2 classics on PS4, and they take digital PS4 games and turn them physical. But you know what that means? Our video Vago right here, Jak 2, we're waiting for it to release. We figured it would come out in September, didn't come out in September. We thought it was going to come out in October, didn't come out in October. We thought it was going to come out in November, so far it's not came out. I think, personally, that they're going to release it physical, just like they did the Jak and Daxter Remaster Collection. But I think this time, obviously Jak X is going to be in here, but I think it's going to be a collector's edition. And I think it might be taking a little longer to release because those of you that don't know how the ESRB works, where you can get a game released digitally a whole lot easier than physical, because physical, there's so much more stuff you gotta go through, especially with re-releases like this. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. When they released it digitally, it took them about a year and a half, 2 years before they could re-release it physically. And that's kind of like a similar thing that happened with Minecraft. When it got released physically, that was about a good year after it released digitally on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So, with this being said, Jak 2, 3, and X, they might just be taking longer time to release those games physically because, the ESRB has to go through so much stuff to do that. They have to get, permission from the voice actors, permission from everybody that worked on the game. It could be taking a lot longer because maybe, just maybe, PlayStation Experience is going to roll out and they'll be telling us, hey, you're getting a physical release for the Jak and Daxter collections, which would obviously make a lot more sense because $15, $15, $15, $15, that's going to be $60. For the price of all 4 Jak games, you're going to be paying the price that you would pay for one modern game. So why would they not just bundle it together and charge you $60 for a physical release date? I mean, I would much rather have that. As you guys know, I absolutely hate digital-only games because those games will be taken away from you in the future. For example, if you have a game that you love that's digital-only, you delete it today, forget about your PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 comes out, you play your PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6 comes out, you play through your PlayStation 6, and then you have a child and you're like, hey, I want to show my kid this game I loved on PlayStation 4. You go and pull up your PlayStation 4, and oh look, servers are down, you can't download that game. Sorry son, that game I spent $60 and about 5 days playing, can't show you it because they took it away from me. I didn't buy the game, I didn't own it, I only owned a license. So if they were to release it physically, that would be something they could prevent. And that's obviously the biggest reason I hate digital-only games. It also made me think, if games that nobody really cares about, like these two, were able to get a physical copy, then why would Jak not get a physical copy? I mean, look at this, dude. The Serious Sam collection, this came with 3, 4, 5 different games. And I can guarantee you, nobody wanted this physical. I mean, obviously it's sold or they wouldn't have, purchased it and all that. But this was one of those games that would have been okay being digital only. Same with this. The Gears of War Rare Replay thing. I mean, yes, Rare Replay was an awesome thing, and I do love every game that got put on the Rare Replay. For some reason, GoldenEye didn't get put on there. For some reason or the other, GoldenEye didn't get put on there. And that was the worst thing ever. But you know what? That's okay. You know why? Because when they remastered GoldenEye, it got its own physical release. So why, if they can take a Nintendo property, a game that Nintendo owned, like GoldenEye, and re-release it, remastered with different features and different stuff, and, almost a completely different game, why won't they do that with Jak? So, all these cool games have came out that's gotten re-released physically. It may have taken a while for it to come physically, but it came physically. So I think that's the thing that's happening with Jak right now. I think we are going to get it physical. I don't know when that's going to be. I really hope they tell us that it's going to come physical before we go out and purchase them all digitally, because let me tell you something. If I end up paying $60 for these games digitally and then it comes out physically and I end up having to pay another $60, I am going to be very upset. Very upset. Because I would buy it $60 just to add to my Jak collection, just so I could have more Jak stuff in there. I know I've made so many of these videos lately, why Jak 2 is taking forever, but I just keep coming up with these theories, like these things, like reasons why it could be taking longer to release. And I know you guys want to hear hardcore news about it, But I do know it does give some of you guys like hope and hype and excitement over thinking about these games whenever I have an idea about why it could be taking a while to release. So maybe, just maybe, some of you out there are still enjoying these videos. I mean, if I ever see views start dying off for these videos, that'll probably be when I quit or when the next game's finally released. We're probably waiting for right now is just for them to get, you know, the final agreements from the ESRB and from all the people who worked on the games originally to give full permission to re-release the game physically, because that's one of the things that the ESRB is really strict about. There was a game, I think it was Rhyme. It may have been Rhyme. It may have been something else, but I know it was one of those games that kind of looked like the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild style that almost didn't get a physical release because of how the ESRB asked for so much money and for so much extra stuff. Like, I do believe if you release the game physically, the ESRB will charge you like $60,000. And if you just do it digitally, they don't charge you anything. But if it's physical, they charge you $60,000 so that you have the license to put, you know, their little logo right there on the corner and all that, and the stuff on the back. They do charge you to put that, you know, that stuff isn't free, which I think is kind of retarded that they charge you for that. But hey, they gotta make money somehow. It is a government thing. Honestly, if we go through over this theory and long enough and all the reasons why it could and should happen, this video could once again be another hour-long video. With that being said, go ahead and hit this subscribe button right over here if you're not already. Right over here, you will see a link to my most recent video as of the time you're watching this. And right here, you'll see a link to one of my best videos that YouTube's algorithm has picked specifically for you based on your viewing habits from my channel. So with that being said, try not to die, and I'll see you in the next video.